1 hour stream. Let's make this quick. Alright. Let's get some music in here. Let's get some tunes. Sorry about that, Mr. Chong. I'm gonna have to like this one, save it for later. Give me a second. I am very sorry about this. Okay. And now we're fully operational. Alright. So, this is my 11th stream. I'm not sure how many streams I have, but my goal is to reach 100. I don't know. How many streams does like... Okay, I'm not sure. Like Dan has like a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure. I am sure that Dan has a lot of. I don't know. I am being stupid today. Let's give me a second. Dan. I think no. I wanna see how many streams Ryan has. Okay, so apparently he has a lot. Jesus. So I'm obviously not going to have more streams than Ryan, but my goal is to have at least, I think, around like 100, maybe 200. Reach that goal. Break those stride. No, reach my stride. If I stream consistently, then maybe not only will I have more stuff to put out on socials, but I'll also have more followers or more people, more supporters than I did yesterday. Come on, let's keep moving. How many streams does Fabian have? Just one? Just the one. Well, I need someone to compete against. I feel like I had that with Fabian, but then I squandered it because I was like a dumb 22-year-old. And I had my own life. Like, I'd like to get in contact with him one more time. He was a solid dude. I thought I'd talk with him forever. I thought he'd be like the Dave to my Dan. But apparently not. The one thing I would like to make, like I do have an idea for Frankenstein. Okay, so basically Frankenstein, like it's centuries after, you know, after the end of the original book, and essentially he's kind of been wandering about, and over time he manages to find new purpose in World War II, helping the U.S. government fight against the legions of the undead because the Nazis were very much into occult stuff. And from that, he finds a new home in the U.S. government, or like of occult affairs, the Bureau of Occult Affairs. It's very top secret. It's like Hellboy, and essentially, he becomes an uncle. Like he has lost a lot of friends in the war, but essentially there's an agent who becomes his handler, and they become friends. And at first, it's like it's like it's Frankenstein, but over time, it's like it's like Frankenstein and him and Frankenstein get to know each other. They talk about literature. They relate to each other. They become friends, and the handler gets married and has a kid. He becomes kind of an uncle, and the kid is involved in the Bureau of Occult Affairs because basically she has kind of like the Shining and stuff, but she's still kind of like a kid. And of course, she loves Frankenstein, like in how a kid loves their uncle. You know, she calls him Uncle Frankie, this, that, the third, and then one day, you know, something from Frankenstein's past comes back. Like say this is where the Bride of Frankenstein comes back, where essentially Frankenstein back in the day wanted a wife, and no, not Frankenstein. It's Proteus, isn't it? Frankenstein was a doctor, but then again, everyone knows when people say Frankenstein, they think the monster. So I'm just gonna go with Frankenstein for now. Frankenstein goes to the doctor, who's also named Frankenstein, and is like, I want a wife. And then Frankenstein, at first, he's like, it's like, okay, but then he doesn't go through with it. And then, centuries later, when, say, the Nazis found Victor Frankenstein's notes in Vienna, they decided, oh, we could essentially use this to make the perfect soldier. It's like we could just use the scraps left behind from like from the bride, and essentially just like turn her into a weapon, and they do. And of course, her and Frankenstein meet, and essentially, like, of course, she doesn't like Frankenstein because essentially, one, she's been like trained by Nazis, and she thinks herself superior. And essentially, Frankenstein, kind of like just tells her it's like you do realize you're nothing but a weapon, right? You're essentially a tool for these necrophiliac Nazis. They don't give a shit about you. And then, of course, they fight. Like, Frankenstein escapes. They fight, but in their fight, he basically takes off the mechanism that the Nazis used to keep her in line. There's also like a line where it's like, really? You're like, there's also like a moment where like Frankenstein's like, really? You're one of them? Then what are those bolts on your neck? And why do you stink of burning flesh? Do they have to, if you're one of them, why do they have to resort to abusing you? And then, that gets her thinking, And then of course she gets the wrong idea where it's like, hey, they're not superior. We are. We've lived longer than them. We're stronger than them. We've been doing their bidding for a while. It's like she comes back and it's like she has this ideology, and essentially she, like in a twist, is also kind of like, a bit obsessed with like Frankenstein. Like it's like essentially it's like, it's she finds the notes, and it's like, you set me free. It's like I was made for you. Like you showed me that you showed me that that the humans were like inferior. It's like I was made for you. You were made for me. Let's bring forth like a perfect race of monsters. Like it's like we could overthrow these humans together. And then Frankenstein's like no, but at the same time it's like Frankenstein's like really really lonely, and like it's kind of like on one mission she was there, and like they were like, and like there was a snafu where they kind of like were both of them were getting chased down and shot at, and of course they had to work together, and essentially there was a moment of weakness for the monster, and then he slept with the bride, and basically this happens like a lot because, well, it's like, when you're Frankenstein and you're lonely, you have no one to relate to about like your life experiences except for her. It's like you can't help but just go back to this person who's obviously just bad for you. And then like of course there's like a moment where essentially like she comes back with a kid, and like the bureau is like, how many times? It's like, it's just the one. How many times, Frankie? Many. And they're like, Jesus Christ, Frank. It's like, I'm lonely, okay? Look, I've had some bad phases. I've done some horrible things. I was alone. I've hated humanity for so long. You know? And like I love you guys, but it's like I have needs. Needs that you people can never fulfill. Okay? She just does, please understand. Like I don't know. But of course, then I also have to finish my vampire book. It's when you're working on something, you get like thousands of ideas for other things, and it's annoying. Yeah, I'm on the third. I think I'm on the fourth chapter. Jesus. I think one goal I should have is just to make the thing, finish the script. Of course, I'm gonna have to finish a sample or two, but I'm gonna have to basically finish the script and put it up online. But finish the script, make a chapter, put it up online, and then do it again and again and again. Because I feel like I'm procrastinating right now. I feel like I know what I need to do on some level, but it's like, oh, I'm not ready. It's not gonna be perfect. And it's like, it doesn't need to be. Just do it. Make your own thing. Man, I think I should be doing what Ryan's doing, right? Right? Like Ryan is essentially drawing his comics on a live stream. And at this point, like that's actually kind of smart. It's actually really smart. should do that. I should stop wasting my time. I feel like I still want to do make submissions, but at the same time, it's like, I'm kind of procrastinating, aren't I? Like, what am I doing? Maybe I should do it. Like, Dave Raposa streamed himself making comics. Ryan streamed himself making comics. Man, at this point, like, what's stopping me? Absolutely nothing. It's like, bro. Like, bro. Just do it. Just do it, bruh. I mean, at this point, I should. Maybe I should stream myself drawing comics. Gotta start off with, I don't know. If I'm gonna stream myself drawing comics, probably gonna have to, start off with the simple 5-page one. 5-pager. Nothing big. They don't need to be perfect. I think I should make the pectoral bigger. Maybe I could do 2 streams per day. 1 painting, 1 comics. Why not? I can literally do what I want, and streaming makes me accountable. My bad, my bad. God. Okay. I should have opened up a new tab. My bad. I'm kind of stupid. Okay, so you know what? Jesus. I feel like I should. I got some emails. Wait, I want. Okay, so basically, I think the Love, Death, and Robots. It's out now, isn't it? Oh, May 15th? Okay. I thought it was today. I was actually excited. I love Love, Death, and Robots. It's honestly it's a visual inspiration for me. Love, Death, and Robots. I would love to do work for them. I think my favorite would have to be. It has to be Witness by Alberto Mieglo. Like it's very simple. It's very suspenseful. I think it's really well done. And this is kind of like the guy. This is from like the guy who essentially did work for Spider-Verse, the first one, which like Spider-Verse, the first movie was I think a great movie. It was amazing. Like it did Miles Morales pretty right. Like Miles Morales is like, I don't know, in my opinion, kind of stupid now. Like the first thing they did with Miles is that they gave him an energy sword because of his Venom Blast, which is like, I thought I never like I thought that was stupid as fuck in my opinion. It's like, why give him an energy sword? Like why? At this point, you're turning him into an anime character. You're turning him into a Dragon Ball Z character. He's Spider-Man. Like he doesn't need all of that. Like Spider-Man, like Peter Parker fought the Juggernaut. Like you do, like he never needed an energy sword. Not to mention, it's like I feel it's like I thought Spider-Man was like supposed to be kind of like relatable. Like he was supposed to be like more down to earth. Like I understand, like like it's swinging from building to building. Like the suspension of disbelief plays a big part into it, but at the same time, it's like it just feels like a bit. It's like Miles Morales was pretty cool because well, it was like Peter Parker, he was grounded. Like he was a regular kid with regular like teenage problems, you know, just like Peter Parker. I mean, quite frankly, I think one thing Marvel should absolutely do with Spider-Man, they're never gonna do it because like they're so stubborn and stupid, especially when it comes to Peter Parker and like his marriage. Like one thing they could do is basically have Peter like essentially like quit being Spider-Man for a while, just be a dad, you know, go back to college, you know. I think go back to college. I mean, like like of course like Marvel keeps on like just butchering their fucking cash cow. They keep on butchering Spider-Man, but one thing that Peter Parker could do that I think would be great for him is essentially go back to college, get that master's, you know. You know Reed Richards, and he of course like he looks at you like kind of like a son figure. Like he admires the fact that you're insanely smart. He admires the fact that you've essentially created web shooters, which essentially create like thin strands of web that are stronger than steel out of household chemicals. Like he would love to have you on as a fucking research assistant, dude. That'd be like not only that'd be awesome. Basically, Peter Parker, he grows up, he gets his life together, he finally marries Mary Jane. You know, fuck Paul. Paul dies. Paul dies inexplicably. It'd be better off if Paul never existed to begin with. Just Paul, like I hope Paul just never exists. I hope like just ceases. Paul just ceases. Paul never existed to begin with, because all my homies hate Paul. All the real ones hate Paul. You know, Paul's getting curb stomped in some interdimensional rift somewhere because no one cares because fuck Paul. And basically like he not only has he like found a better family, not a better family, gross, because that'd be disrespectful to Aunt May. Not only has he found has he built like a bigger family with Aunt May, Fantastic Four, Mary Jane, with baby on the way. It's like not only that, it's like Miles, through being the new Spider-Man, has this support system. Like not only does he have Peter Parker, he also has Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm. Who knows? Ben could teach him how to fight. There could be like this back and forth. Like it'd be so cool. It'd be super cool to have that. Like essentially, the Fantastic Four are this the Fantastic Four thrives on is a superhero team that thrives on like being this like big dysfunctional family. Of course, like Reed, he's kind of like he could be a bit arrogant. He could be a bit too absorbed in his work, but he still shows up when it matters. Sue can be a bit unsure. She feels like she's invisible, but in the end, she still finds the strength to essentially kind of to speak out and be her own person and stand up for herself and essentially and communicate what she wants to her husband Reed, and like stuff like that. And like Ben Grimm finding the strength to trust people again, to love himself again, and like Johnny, to stop being such a a douche. Stop being such a womanizing douche. Stop cheating on your girlfriend. Stop thinking with the wrong head, and stop being so angry. Stop being like a hothead. That could be cool. That's cool. No, that's cool. That was cool. That was cool about him. And it's like it's like you added She-Hulk into the mix. Why not add Peter Parker? Matt Murdock's your lawyer. You have this network. Miles has this network of superheroes who've been around the block, and that could essentially it's like that could give Miles an advantage, or that could be very interesting to explore. We've never seen Miles Morales interact with any of the street level heroes in the way that Peter has. We've never seen him interact with Frank Castle. We've never seen him interact with say I don't know, Daredevil. That'd be awesome. You know, not to mention like it would kind of makes more sense for Daredevil because like Miles Morales, he's like Afro Latino. He's half black, half Puerto Rican. Like obviously, religion has to play some part in his life, and that could be where they connect, or Miles and Matt connect, or essentially kind of like there could be a story where Miles' uncle Aaron is essentially kind of a he's he gets into like a very sticky situation with like some crime boss, like I don't know, maybe like Kingpin or Owlsley, and essentially him, Miles, and Matt have this uneasy team up where Miles and Frank have this uneasy team up where Miles has to basically make sure that Frank doesn't kill anybody, and even then, he's gonna have to make some compromises because well, it's Frank. It's like it's like fine, like you could look. It's like don't kill Prowlers. Like why do you care about Prowlers so much? It's like just just don't look. He and then basically it's like he's your uncle, isn't he? Isn't he? It's like and like he kind of guesses that because not because of like any not because of any race stuff, like not because of any bias, because it's like like I said, like Frank's been around the block before. Like I've dealt with people with relatives who are in it with some bad people. It's like, and then Miles is like, just okay, you can kill whoever you want, or like no, just please don't kill my uncle, please. Because like at this point, Miles has to realize it's like I can't reason with this guy when it comes to this stuff. He's like so stubborn and dangerous. Okay, how about this? Like, not he doesn't say that. Like, you can kill this specific person. You can kill this specific person, but you have to let my uncle and his hench and like whoever the hell is involved go. And then Frank of course agrees to the deal. I mean, of course, like Frank is also kind of lying, but you know, like they never do any of that. Or like, how about this? Like, it's like what I would love to see is a comic of essentially the Spider Girl, like Peter's daughter, but like she's in her teen years, and essentially she wants to be a superhero, but there's like an issue there, like her dad won't let her, or you know, this, that, and the third, and then I don't know. Basically, her dad gets in gets into a sticky spot with an old villain, and then basically she and an older Miles Morales, like May and an older Miles Morales, have to essentially team up to basically save her father. Like Miles has to basically team up with her daughter, with her mentor's daughter, to save his mentor. And it's kind of like the first Spider-Verse movie, but like the shoe, like Miles is the mentor figure now, and Miles has his own problems, and Miles has his own frustrations when it comes to being Spider-Man, and that'd be very interesting to see. But you know, I don't know. No one cares. No one wants to do that. There's so many cool ideas they could do. There's so much you didn't do. May Parker, Miles Morales, team up. That'd be so cool. one cool thing they could that I would love to see done is essentially how about this? Peter Parker's well into his 40s. He is essentially a scientist that works with Reed Richards, and his wife is essentially a pro mutant and pro superhero activist with her own show on the Daily Bugle that she co-hosts alongside a 60 to 75-year-old J. Jonah Jameson. And basically, apart from his scientist work, Peter Parker's kind of like a stay-at-home dad. And basically, for some reason, Peter Parker has to kind of like, has to do something. And so he places his daughter in the trust of Ben Grimm and like Logan. And of course, like Logan, of course, being Logan, is kind of like a dick about him being a stay-at-home dad, like kind of makes fun of his masculinity. And Peter Parker's like, yeah, whatever. You're 5'2", ooh. And then he swings off. And then of course, like Logan and Ben spend time with the kid. And of course, time like they get to know the kid. It's like they change her. They do all this stuff. They dance along to some, I don't know, Dazzler songs, or I don't know, Taylor Swift or whatever the hell. And then there's like this funny gag where Logan, of course, goes out for like a smoke, or maybe like some beers, which I don't know, kind of a terrible thing to do when you're babysitting a kid. I don't know, he goes out for something, and then basically when Logan comes back, Ben Grimm's like panic. It's like, oh fuck. It's like, oh shit. It's like, and basically it's like, what's wrong? It's like, I lost the kid. I don't know where she is. And essentially kind of like, it's like, wait, what? You lost her? And then essentially they kind of like, they go into a panic. They tear the place. They kind of like, move everything. They're trying to find the kid. And then basically Peter, Reed, and like Sue and MJ come back. And then, Peter's like, so, where's my daughter? It's like, we lost her. And it's like, wait, what? Peter's like, wait, what? You lost her? How did you do that? I don't know. Okay, but I've locked this place down. Okay, no one gets in, no one gets out. Okay, we need to split into two groups and check this part of the building and check this part of the building. And then basically, Ben turns around, and of course May's like stuck to the back of him. He's like and then like Peter and like they all immediately start laughing. And then of course like Ben stops, and it's like, she's right behind me, isn't she? And then of course Peter like just peels her off of Ben's back. And then it's like Peter's like, hey man, when you're the kid, right? And then of course like Ben's like, yeah, right. And then Ben's kind of like just a bit sulking over here, because like it's like, god damn it, it's like I've it's like I didn't know that would happen. And then it's like I'm not really on my P's and Q's. And then basically May kind of like Mayday, the baby, essentially feels bad, and basically she goes to Ben, and then basically gives him a picture of Mayday and Ben and Logan, holding hands. And then Ben's like, I mean, I can't stay mad at you forever. And then that's a comic. Like, I don't know, something like that. I would have loved to see something like that. Because, well, it's like, one, that'd be just cute as hell. Two, it's like, it'd be kind of like, say, that Looney Tunes short, or you're constantly watching over a baby, and like I don't know. I'm rambling, aren't I? I'm rambling. I don't want to talk anymore. Just know that it's like I'm not happy with how they're handling some of the characters in Marvel. That's the point. That's just the point. I'm not happy with how they have handling Miles, handling Peter. And so far, the only half decent thing that they've got is like what Fantastic Four, I think. But I'm thinking this Invincible's getting better. God. Yeah, I know. I know Dan's having a better time than I am. 5 watching. Damn it. If only I had 5 viewers. I'm so jealous. I'm jealous. I don't know. I think I could stream myself making out a comic. Dave did it. Ryan did it. Might as well. It's an opportunity for more streams, and it keeps me accountable, and I could post what I've got. I could post up what I've got when I'm finished, when I'm done. There's so much things you could have done with these characters, but you don't do them, Marvel. Do you like money? You need to have money. This is the reason why all the top talent is going into Indiegogo and crowdfunding campaign, because you can't pay them well and you don't respect your characters. These are highly sought after characters. One thing I would also love to do is make a Conan comic. And I know that basically it's like Conan is going to reach the public domain in like 2028. And when that happens, ooh boy. I do have an idea for a fan-made short. Okay, so basically I'm gonna like, you know what? Nah, I need to use the bathroom. This is a terrible time. I'll be right back. just finished. Dropping a deuce. How does it look? You know what? Okay, I have 4 minutes left. Even if I'm an old high school friend, and then you see him on Twitter again, and he's racist on the internet. How do you handle that? Because I put a left wing story on my post, and he was like, "Where's the punchline?" And it's like, I felt like the Joker at the, you know, at the Murray show. There is no punchline. I'm I'm center left. I'm a liberal. I voted for Kamala. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a crazy. I don't know, I'm not like a. I'm not a communist. I still think capitalism is a decent system. I just think that there needs to be like I think there needs to be strong social programs and safety net programs. You know, free market capitalism like needs to be kind of like limited. Like I don't know. Like we also need like free or at least affordable healthcare. You know, I'm very much a fan of like the Nordic model of capitalism that they've got over in like they got over in Germany or like Switzerland. You know. You know, it's like the combination a social welfare and like economic system. You know, it's like we. I feel like you can say what you want about the Germans and their war crimes, which there have been many, but they've got a hell of a system. It works, and I want it. I am very much in love with Nordic model capitalism. And I feel like we should like imitate that, in my opinion. You know, if I could make an art book, I don't know, this is an idea that I had. One, if I'm gonna keep on doing this, if I'm gonna make an art book, and if it's gonna basically be comprised of all the stuff that I did on a live stream, I have an idea for the book. It's called Fuck It. We're doing it live. Like, you know, like Bill O'Reilly. Like, fuck it. We'll do it live. Fuck it. think it's way past our end time. All right. Well, this is the end of the 11th session. I am gonna dip out because I need to get to work soon and I have to wash some dishes. And I like to catch some of Dan's streams. So, I